Because now most coaches already have a system or have a scheme in place, and now it's just finding the pieces that can do it.
Yeah.
So if I know I got a guard who is strong with the ball, man, my offense is gonna be phenomenal. But if I don't got a guard to get the ball up the court, now what do I do? You know what I'm saying? Now I gotta go into my coaching bag.
Yeah.
Because and one thing I've learned about basketball from being a coach, I mean, I've never coached football, but I love it. You know what I'm saying? I love watching the game and just studying as far as how they do their thing. But you know, basketball is one sport where the players can really dictate what's going on. Like, you know, no matter how good a coach is, I mean, if you don't got the players, if they not doing what they're supposed to do, it don't work. So you can have the perfect plan, you can have to run the perfect play, but if you don't got a player that can knock down that shot, if you don't have a kid that can make that pass, if you don't have a kid that can slide their feet, ain't gonna work, coach. Ain't gonna work. And you can try to switch it up, but the players gotta play. And that's why some coaches, when you see certain coaches, if they got the players, just go let your kids play. You know what I mean? You just gotta control the situation. But other than that, if you just let them go play, they gonna just play. You can just coach.
So going off what you said, Coach, I always tell kids all the time at the park and stuff, I said, the 12th man is all about effort. So if you're going to get that 12th spot, you have to give effort, outstanding effort to make that 12th spot. So if you come to tryouts and you ain't giving effort, you an easy cut. No, lack of effort is an easy cut.
And there's so many ways to make a team too, outside of just your skill. Just that 12th man thing, like, you know what I mean? For example, let's say this kid is vocal. Yeah, you might not be the best shooter, you might not be the best defender.
You're a leader.
Yeah, let's say you're the one, you know what I'm saying, that'll speak up when the best shooter is not doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Absolutely.
And you're the one that can get them in that groove. Or, you know what I mean, somebody has to be able to be a voice for the team that's not the coach. You know what I mean? And that's not always the best player. You know what I mean? That's not always the kid that's scoring. That's not always the kid that's playing a lot. So you can be on the team and contribute in so many different ways. But as long as you just working on your game, you know what I mean, you can get better. You just gotta be willing. I mean, basketball is that sport, man. You just gotta be willing. It's repetition. You gotta be willing to put in the work really every day. Like you have to work on your form. You have to work on your handle every day. You can tell I can look at a kid and tell, man, I can tell you dribble the ball every day. I can tell you go out there. I can tell.
Our last question comes from a parent. Mary Ann says, "Dear Titans, I want my son to have something to fall back on, but his only interest is basketball and sports. What advice could you give about how he could turn that into a plan B?"
Ball is life. I mean, we say that term, but we should, as coaches, we all should be, from kids from the best player on the team to the 12th man on the team. Look, you can play. It's great that you play sports. It's great that you play basketball. It's great that you put it. But at the end of the day, let's all be honest. The NBA is like playing a lottery. There's so many players in the world that play basketball. So it's a lottery dream, but take that same energy and apply that same energy somewhere else. You can always play basketball. I mean, you don't have to just play basketball on team. There's so many rec leagues out here. There's so many, look at the field house. Like, they got so many different levels of playing. You can stay involved in basketball, but at the same time, life kicks in, you know, and once you're done playing basketball, let's say you blow your ACL out tomorrow, or what's new now in basketball, the biggest new career-ending injury, Achilles. You tear your Achilles, what do? You know, do you continue to, first of all, the rehab on the Achilles is what? It's ridiculous, you know, and it's hard to come back from it. So you have to have a fallback plan in every scenario in life. You can't put your eggs in one basket, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of kids, And we've been talking about social media the whole time we've been doing this podcast right now, but everything looks so instant. You know, it looks like it just looks easy. You know, it looks so easy on camera, but at the same time, nobody knows what's happening behind that lens. Like, nobody knows what the person is going through. Nobody sees the work that person is putting in, and nobody sees failure anymore. Like they don't see normal people who strive to do something and they end up turning around and doing something else. Like, you can use your sports energy and apply that energy into so many other aspects of life and the world, you know? So to that parent, just keep preaching to your kid to, hey, that's fine. It's good. It keeps you out of trouble. But at the same time, what happens when A doesn't work? What's your B? And what happens if B doesn't work? What's your C? Like, you got to think outside the box. And I think, first of all, that's a good question for this, because even though we're doing this coach thing, because it's sports, this all applies to life. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't apply to sports. It applies to life. All the concepts relate to life. Yeah. So you got to figure out, hey, all this energy I'm putting into basketball, where else can I put it?
I agree with that. I think that sometimes as a coach, it's not that you have to let a kid down or let someone know something negative. It's just about putting that coach. I think coaches get confused with winning and being looked upon as winning to what really were you sent there to do? You're a coach. You were sent there to mentor, teach, help, provide whatever you have went through and developed over your years and pass it on. If you're not doing that, then you're failing. And I think that as a coach, if you got a player that's like, he thinks that's everything, and this is my dream, this is what I want to do, and you see him and you're like, man, okay, I got you, I get you. I think it's up to you to figure that out. I think it's up to you to figure out how you talk and communicate to that young player that you're coaching and say however you need to say. I think you also need to be doing this too. I think you also need to be doing this on your off periods and off time. I know you want to come to practice, but I tell you what, before you come to practice next week, go ahead and write me an essay. Show off your writing skills, your punctuation, your grammar. I need that before you can come on this court. And I think as a coach, you force them to do the things that they need to do. And if they don't want to do it, then they push their own self away. And that's not to say, oh, good, I ain't got to deal with it. But it's to say, I have that responsibility, and this is how we're going to make that come into fruition.